Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a conversation that's jumping right out of the tech department and into the boardroom: cloud refactoring. And trust me, this isn't just another IT buzzword. It's a strategic decision that could literally define the future of your company.
So let me just ask you this straight up. Is your company's technology a launch pad, rocketing you forward? Or is it an anchor, just weighing you down? And look, if that hits a little too close to home, if you're wrestling with slow-moving projects, costs that just keep climbing, and systems that feel brittle, then you're exactly where you need to be. Because that's the core problem we're here to talk about.
So, what in the world is cloud refactoring? At its heart, it's pretty simple. It's all about strategically rethinking and rebuilding your current applications so they can actually use the full power of the cloud. We're talking about unlocking some serious performance gains, scaling up or down at a moment's notice, and yes, making things way more cost-effective. It's modernization, not just moving your stuff somewhere else.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll quickly cover what refactoring really is, then dig into the business benefits, the why you should care part. We'll walk through the process, talk about the challenges and how to beat them, and then wrap up with your next strategic move. Okay, first things first, let's bust a major myth. A lot of people hear moving to the cloud, and they think it's a simple lift and shift. You just kind of pick up your applications and drop them in a new place. But real transformation, true refactoring, that's about fundamentally changing your apps to be born in the cloud, to be cloud native.
Here's an analogy I love. Just lifting and shifting is like buying a sleek new race car, but keeping the engine from your old family station wagon. Sure, it looks cool, but you've got zero of the performance you paid for. Refactoring? That's the engine upgrade. That's how you go from rigid, slow, high-cost systems to something that's elastic, fast, and lets you pay for only what you use. It's a total game changer.
So, we've covered the what. Now for the most important part, the why. Why should you, as a business leader, have this at the top of your agenda? Simple. Because every single benefit we're about to talk about gives you a real, tangible, competitive edge and directly hits your bottom line.
So, what's really pushing leaders to do this? Well, according to research from Virtualization Options LLC, they're a group that specializes in breaking this stuff down for executives. Cost savings is a big piece of the pie, for sure. But look closer. It's not the whole story. Right behind it are huge drivers like performance and scalability. This is about getting a full package of benefits, better security, and the agility to just run circles around your competition.
And this isn't just some abstract idea. That same report from Virtualization Options LLC points to a great real-world example: a major retailer. They refactored their systems, and the result? They could finally handle huge traffic spikes, like on Black Friday, without their site just falling over. That means happier customers and smoother operations. That's the power we're talking about.
And let's talk about the money for a second. This chart says it all. You're basically shifting away from spending massive amounts of cash upfront on hardware, that's that really tall bar on the left, to a much smarter, more predictable operational cost. You only pay for the computing power you actually use. It gives you incredible flexibility.
So how does a project like this actually get done? And I know it can sound huge and complicated, but the truth is it's a very clear, structured process. This isn't about ripping and replacing everything in a chaotic mess. It's a guided, manageable journey. It really breaks down into 6 logical steps. First, you've got to assess exactly what you have right now. Next up, you identify the low-hanging fruit and biggest opportunities. Then you design what the future looks like. You migrate the code and data, you test everything like crazy to make sure it's perfect, and finally, you deploy it. See? It's a step-by-step approach that keeps risk in check.
Okay, but let's be real for a second. Any big change like this is gonna have some challenges. It's not always a walk in the park, right? The key is knowing what they are ahead of time so you can navigate right through them.
So, what are those potential hurdles? That's the question every smart leader should be asking. So let's take a look at what the research from Virtualization Options LLC tells us are the most common bumps in the road.
And the thing is, these challenges probably won't surprise you. They're the exact questions you might already have. Like, what do we do with this old, clunky system that everything depends on?
How on earth do we move all our data safely? What about all the new security risks? And maybe the biggest one of all, does my team actually have the skills to do that? But, and this is the most important part, for every single one of those very real challenges, there is a proven playbook. This is not uncharted territory anymore. Others have gone before you, and we know what works. And that playbook includes some key strategies. First, you create a cloud center of excellence, your own internal dream team to lead the charge. You adopt things like a microservices architecture, which is like breaking up a giant app into small, manageable pieces you can update one at a time. You use containerization, which basically puts each piece in its own little box so it can run anywhere. You automate your deployments with CI/CD so you can release new stuff fast and safe. And you monitor everything, all the time. All right, so we've got the process, we've got the playbook, so what's your next move? This is where we stop thinking about this as just a project and start seeing it for what it truly is, a strategic decision about architecting what your business will look like tomorrow. When you boil it all down, the companies that absolutely nail this do 4 things right. 1, they plan everything meticulously. 2, they iterate. They take small, smart steps instead of one giant leap. 3, they upskill their people because they know their team is their greatest asset. And 4, they monitor everything relentlessly after they launch to squeeze out every bit of performance and savings. So, if you take away just one thing from our talk today, please let it be this. Cloud refactoring is not an IT project. It is a strategic business transformation. It changes how you operate, how you build products, and ultimately, how you win in your market. And so that brings us to the final and most important question. A question for you and your leadership team. Is your business truly architected for the future, or is it still running on the architecture of the past? Because the answer to that question will define where you go from here.